Some of the wealthiest Americans pay an effective tax rate under 5%. Some years, it's 0. And here's the kicker. It's not illegal. It's all done using a simple 3-step formula. And the best part is, you can start using this same framework today.
So this is the system. Buy, borrow, die. I know, it sounds a little dramatic, but it's an incredibly powerful framework for building wealth that anyone with assets can begin to use. So let's dive in and see how it works. Okay, to really get this, you first have to understand that there are basically 2 different tax systems in America. There's one for people who earn a wage and a completely different one for people who own assets. So let's say you earn $75,000 a year as a W-2 employee. You're probably paying around a 25% tax rate. But someone with $5 million in assets, they're often paying between 0 and 5%. They're not cheating the system. They just understand one simple rule. And this is the absolute key to everything. Our tax code is designed to tax income from labor very heavily, but tax wealth from assets very, very lightly. So, step 1 of this whole framework is pretty straightforward. You have to acquire assets that grow in value over time. This is the foundation that everything else is built on.
So imagine you buy $50,000 worth of index funds. Over 15 years, it grows to $200,000. You know what the IRS thinks about that? Nothing. As long as you don't sell, they don't care. That whole $150,000 gain is just compounding, completely tax-free.
Now just think about that. Compare it to earning an extra $150,000 in salary over those same years. You would have paid over $40,000 in taxes right away. Same amount of wealth created, but a totally different tax result.
Okay, so this next part feels a little bit like magic, and it's where most people get stuck. If you never sell your assets, how in the world do you actually use the money you've built up? And the answer is actually really simple. Instead of selling your assets and creating a big tax bill, you just borrow against them. Let's run the numbers. Say you have $200,000 in stocks and you need $50,000. If you sell, you instantly lose around $10,000 to capital gains tax. Plus, you lose all the future growth on that money. But if you borrow, you get a loan. And a loan is not taxable income. You might pay, say, $3,000 a year in interest, all while your original $200,000 keeps on growing. And this isn't some secret financial product. Banks love making these loans because your assets are the collateral, which makes it super low risk for them. We're talking about things like a home equity line of credit, or HELOC, a securities-backed line of credit, or SBLOC. You can even take a loan from your 401k. The idea is always the same. Get cash without selling. All right, this final step is what makes this strategy truly generational. It's how the wealthy pass down their fortunes while legally erasing a whole lifetime of taxable gains. It's a rule in the tax code called the step-up in basis. And what it means is that when you die, the original price you paid for an asset is basically forgotten for tax purposes. The value just resets to whatever it's worth on that day. So let's say you bought stock for $50,000, and when you pass away, it's now worth $1 million. Your kids inherit that stock with a new cost basis of $1 million. If they turn around and sell it the very next day, they pay 0 tax on that $950,000 gain. It's just wiped clean. $41 billion. According to the Congressional Budget Office, that's how much this one single tax break costs the U.S. Treasury every single year. It's one of the biggest tax breaks in the entire code, and most people have never even heard of it. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great for billionaires with stock portfolios, but what about the rest of us? Well, the great news is that the very same framework applies at a smaller, much more accessible scale. Let me show you. Okay, let's say you bought a home for $250,000, and over the years, its value has gone up to $400,000, and now you need $40,000 to start a new business. Instead of selling your house, you take out a home equity line of credit, a HELOC. You borrow that $40,000, pay maybe $3,000 a year in interest, and all the while your house, your appreciating asset, just keeps growing in value. It's the exact same framework. Buy, then borrow. And you really can start today. Seriously. The first step is just to start building an asset base. Max out your Roth IRA, put money in your 401k, open a brokerage account, and just consistently buy low-cost index funds. Then just get curious. Start learning about tools like HELOCs and SBLOCs before you ever need them. Even $5,000 invested now can become $50,000 later, and that's an asset you can borrow against, tax-free. Ultimately, what this all comes down to is a fundamental shift in how you think about money. It's about moving from an income mindset to an ownership mindset. Think about it this way. Person A focuses on income. They work hard, climb the ladder to $120,000 a year, but they end up paying more in taxes, and their lifestyle just grows to match their salary. Person B focuses on assets. They stay at $80,000 a year, but they invest $25,000 every single year, building a $400,000 portfolio. Same starting point, different framework, a radically different outcome. This framework is exactly why some people pay a 25% tax rate and others pay closer to 5%. The system works if you have assets. The real key is to just start building them, no matter how small you start. It requires that mental shift. Stop optimizing for a higher income and start optimizing for more ownership, because that is what the tax code rewards. Just remember the rules. Unrealized gains are not taxed. Borrowed money is not taxable income. And the step up in basis resets the clock at death. You can start today, even if it's with just $100 a month. In 10 years, you'll have an asset base. In 20 years, you can be using the exact same strategies the wealthy use. The difference isn't your income, it's knowledge.